You're sifting through a lot of chaff trying to find the golden nuggets. Hi, I'm Ryan from Educate.me. Today I'm going to show you how I arrange Google Drive. If you're like a lot of people, you have your Google Drive and everything gets dropped into probably the root of the folder. And by root, I mean the main part of the folder. And it just becomes an unwieldy mess. Now you may create folders to try to organize your things. I'm going to show you how I do it. This is not the correct way, it's just a way that works for me. Maybe you can use something out of it to make Google Drive work better for you. Okay, first we're going to go to Google Drive. And if you're like a lot of people, you'll have some folders at the top, and then you'll have a million files down here. Now this isn't my real account, or there'll be a lot more files. So how I arrange my Google Drive is, first, over in the main drive, I will create a folder for the current year. And there she is. And I will usually change the color of it so I can know that that's my current year. And inside that folder, I'll make a folder for documents, pictures, and that's enough to get started. Inside the documents, that is where I would store all of my documents for that I'm using that year. If I want to reuse a document from the previous year, so here's my 1920 and here's my documents. If I wanted to reuse my Great American Novel, I could just drag and drop it over in there. But I don't like to do that because I like to start anew for each one and not worry about, if I delete things, will I be able to see how I did it a year ago or 5 years ago? So I will right click on it and make a copy. And now I have a copy of my great novel, and I'll move that over into my current year documents. I've also gotten into the habit this year, when I go to rename this, I put 2021. It cuts down on a lot of ambiguity when you're doing a search. What is the current one? If I just put 2021 for the current school year that I'm working on this, I know when I when I go in my search, there's a few different things. There's my grade. I know this is the one that's for this current year. Because as you go through, you can't even use the view by date, because as you open up a file to see, is this the file I want? And it's not, but Google thinks, okay, you open that file, so I'm going to change the last modified date, which makes things really a bear. If you wanted to look inside a full file without opening it up and changing this last modified, there's an eyeball. When you click on it, you can click on the eyeball and it'll show you it without opening it. So maybe that will help you out, and you can also do it under a right click. But those are two ways to preview a document without opening it, so it doesn't change the last modified. Now inside my documents folder, I could also have, for each subject I'm teaching, and put the documents for Math 4 in there. I could create folders inside of there. Let's say you want to reuse this computer hardware folder. Unfortunately, folders you cannot just download. So I would have to go over to my current year folder, make the folder by hand, and then as I reuse documents, make a copy and copy them into that folder. Why you would do this? It's a nice way to keep things nice and clean every year. So you're not reusing stuff. If you copy things over every year, all of the files, it gets a lot of chaff in there. There might be files that you haven't used in 5-6 years, but because you're copying everything over all the time, it doesn't give you a chance to clean it out. This way, you get a nice chance to clean things out as you go along, instead of sitting down and doing it for hours on end. So my computer hardware, if I want to reuse this, my first PC, I can make a copy, drag the copy over to the 2021 computer hardware, go to the 2021 computer hardware, and then rename that, and I put 2021 in front of it. You can also color code these. You can add these to your toolbar. Go watch my bookmark all the things in Google Drive, because you can make a folder up here. I'm just right clicking on it and say folder. So there's my drive, computer hardware, navigate to it and drag that in there. I'm going fast on here because it's in my other video, so go watch my other video. I can do math. I can drag that into there. Now when I go to my drive, I can easily jump to both of those current year folders and I'm good to go. The other document that you might want to put in there is recent. But yeah, go watch my other video on bookmark all the things in Google so you can see how this works really well. So in a nutshell, that's how I organize my Google Drive. I create a folder for the school year, create documents and pictures so I can just keep those things separate instead of having a pictures file that everything gets added to every year. After 10, 15, 20 years, you've got a lot of stuff in there that is not pertinent to the current school year. So you're sifting through a lot of chaff trying to find the golden nuggets. That's it for today. Hopefully you'll find something useful in organizing your Google Drive. Be sure to like this video and visit me over on educate.me. Stay classy.